What's up, Soup? Welcome back to the E36 project. In today's video, I'm going to be taking this junkyard differential and welding it and giving it a bit of a refresh. We've already painted it and welded the diff. We've also put some new seals on it. We're going to throw these poly hybrid diff bushings in, and I think that's it. So the timeline on this video is a little weird. It's a little all over the place. I was kind of, saving up parts as I could. So let's get right into it. So the next plate I'm going to make just a little bit wider, but I think that'll do. I think this is a little bit overkill, but everyone else does it, so I'm going to do it too. It seems to work for them, so we're going to weld that in there. Got some new seals we're going to put in. So we're going to pop these guys off with a screwdriver. Come right out. It's going to be 13 millimeter. And there she goes. Alright, awesome. Now if I would have done this the second time, I definitely would have, at this step, I would have done the other side, and I actually would have welded the diff out of the case. And if you choose to do that, you just want to make sure that you keep the right shims on the right side, and yeah, it should be good. So we got the other side off. We're gonna set that to the side, make sure we know it came off of this side. So each one has a shim on it to make sure that the preload of the bearing is correct. So we wanna make sure that we have those in the same place. We're not gonna mess with anything else, so that should be all right. And now we're gonna try to actually take the differential out. Now the reason I'm taking this out is because I welded the diff. And in the future, I would actually weld the diff out like this because there's a lot of splatter and stuff. So I'm just going to check all the gears and just make sure there's no gunk on them. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Like once the car starts driving, it's just going to eat through all that stuff. But I'm just going to clean everything up in here and then I'll put it back together. So I'm just going to set this to the side. So now that we got this guy off, what we're going to do is set the shim to the side in the same direction, in that direction. And then what I did was we need something to press this ring out. So the out part isn't as important as the in part. What we're going to do is basically going to clean this guy up, and you see how there's a hole there, like a feed hole, how it's just below that. We're going to make sure we get it in that same spot. So it's just about touching the hole on the top there. It's kind of hard to see, maybe right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap it out first. I took an old throw-out bearing and I kind of ripped it apart, and kind of works just about perfect. And then put a socket on top. Actually works pretty good. So take a hammer. We'll take a hammer, pop it out, put the old seal to the side, get our new seal, flip her over, take our new seal, try to get it in there even, take our little press tool, take this guy, I'm going to try to hit it in as even as possible, give it a few taps and see where it's at. See where she's at. A little farther. I'd say that's good, but I'm just going to give it a little. Let's try to make sure she's even. I'd say she's good to go. We'll put her back on. Got some new hardware. I'm going to put some new hardware in. Timeline on this video is a little weird. It's a little all over the place. I was kind of, saving up parts as I could. So let's get right into it. All right. So the first thing that we got to do to put these new ones in is take the old ones out. I'm going to use a press, but there's a nice little trick that you can do is, which I did on this one a little bit, is take a hacksaw in half and you kind of cut through the bushing and you can just hammer it out. So we got one out. We'll press this other guy out and then we'll press the new ones in. We got this one in with a little diff oil. Should be able to just hammer these in. So we've already welded this guy, and it should be more than good, but I'm going to go ahead and just weld it a little bit more. If I did this again in the future, I would definitely take the whole diff out first and then weld it, because you get a lot of splatter inside. It ends up getting on the gears, which really probably isn't a big deal after it wears a little, but so we're going to do it that way. Now that we did that, we're going to weld this up just a little better. I think we're good, but all right, let's put 1 1/4 quarts in. Use this. Got these surfaces all cleaned off, both sides. Alright, so now that we let this dry a little bit, we're going to start torquing these down to 33 foot-pounds. So what I read it was. Alright everyone, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. The diff is all finished, so we're going to set it aside for now until we finish the rear end. But stick around and that video will be coming soon. Thanks for watching.